perfect. Alright, here we go. Going live. Hopefully the setup works. It's kind of greasy, but... Okay. Awesome. Look at that. Look at this, boys. I think we're live. Sorry, I had to quickly rush up the setup here on the laptop. I haven't geared this up yet, like I did my desktop. So it did take me like a good couple minutes here just to get things downloaded here. But I think we're good. I think we're Gucci. So just bear with me here. All right, yeah, I think we're good. Look at that, wowee. All right, what's going on, everybody? Nick Daniels here, coming at you live, man, yet again. Today's another little live stream. I just figured we haven't done one here in about 3 weeks or so, which has been rather upsetting. But you know, things were happening, and I figured, well, why not? Let's do a live stream. So anyway, so it'll be about like an hour long. I think we'll probably do the usual as well. We'll look at some dating fails as we usually do. You know, I usually have plenty of those to go around, but I do like reading what's on the internet. Any questions, by the way, feel free to just ask at any time. I love answering questions, so as dumb as you might think they are, I'll answer them. Doesn't matter. Hold on here. Oh, it's just telling me my bitrate is apparently higher than what it recommends. I put it to 5,000, and it's 2,500. I think it'll be okay. And it's on Wi-Fi. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. If you guys can let me know if everything sounds okay, that'd be fantastic. But I'm not going to make you do that. If you don't want to, that's cool. Oh, anyway, man. No, we got things to talk about though. We got some speed dating. I might do that on an actual video though, and like review the video. But there's a speed dating event coming, and you know, can't give any more than that right now. We're gonna keep it PG-13. But yeah, so there's a speed dating event coming that naturally, as you probably have to assume, I'm probably going to be going there. Oh, thank you everybody, thank you very much. So I'm going to be going to this thing naturally. I mean, why not? So the rumors of me being out of dating apparently were all a lie. However, anyway, they linked a video to it to say like what speed dating was, and I was kind of thinking I could kind of review that. I think that would be kind of funny. Okay, this is getting really annoying. It just keeps telling me that my bitrate's higher than it should be. Like, I understand that. That's why I put it on there. But yeah, so I don't know. I might do that as a video. I don't have headphones or anything on me at the moment. I'm sure I could fish something out, but who's got time for that? So I'm sure that could happen, but we're not going to bother with that tonight. But there's a bunch of these like speed dating videos on YouTube, but they're not like the one that got linked. Like this one is like, what is speed dating, you know? And it goes through like exactly how to go through it and what it's going to be. And you know, as I've gone now, I don't even know, man. It's kind of a shame at this point. I've probably been there like 5 times. I feel like I'm like the most certified to tell you what the hell's going to happen on a speed dating event, but yeah, it's just me. So anyway, I'm just looking up a couple date fails. You know, I like getting into those right away. I just don't want to read anything I've already read. So if I start reading it and I'm like, oh, this looks familiar, you know, and I try to bounce out of it, you know why. So give me 1 second here to move some things around on my monitor here. I'm not even set up my desk anymore, eh? Like, I'm just kind of like temporarily sitting here. I sit on the, I just use the couch here. And then I use my little coffee table that's behind me. You can't see it right now, but there you go. So I use this, and it's been really great. I just put something on the telly, you know, like whatever it's going to be. Like if I'm watching Dark or something, you know, and you just enjoy away. Okay. Here we go. Give me a second here. I just go to use OBS because obviously we don't have this set up just yet. Oh, that's not it. What is that? Oh, it's looking for a website. Okay. Just, yep, kill that off. Hopefully, I don't know if you guys actually saw anything there, but don't worry about it. Window capture. Is that what it is? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Okay, that's not window capture. All right. Oh, you do see it. The preview just showed it. Okay, bear with me. Bear with me. I will figure out which one it is again. Display capture. Ah, I feel like I should have known that. There we go. Display number 2, boys. Oh, it always just looks like absolutely insane for like 10 seconds, and then we minimize, and then it's like, wow, it looks okay. Don't worry about that. Just got some porn bookmarked up in the bookmark tab there. I'll just kill that off real quick here. Um, anyway, let's just uncheck that. Yeah, that's good. That's good. We'll just zoom it in here so you guys can see it. Oh god, that looks horrible. Okay, never mind. I'll do it the other way around. It's like really bad. I wanted to zoom it in so you guys can actually see what's going on here. Hold on here. Sorry, this is just a mess. Bear with me. I swear it's only going to be like 20 more seconds. Okay, there we go. We got Reddit. I gotta move the layer. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's a mess. I had this preset up. I swear to God, okay? When I did on my desktop, I had this preset up. You didn't have to watch me fiddle with it in a stream. But, you know, that's the fun. Okay, I think that's going to be a good... That's an okay size. That's an okay size. Yeah, it's alright. Look at that. There we go. Look at that. That's hot. There we go. Isn't that good? Alright, cool. Alright, sorry about that. Hold on, before we get into anything here, Dominic's got a, what are you saying, Dominic? I did speed dating about 10 times, but over a 5-year period, and I met a couple girls that dated for a while. It is, man, it's kind of a numbers game. The first time I did speed dating, I ended up getting a few matches out of it, like 3 or 4. It was insane, right? And like, I was told that was a really good number, and I didn't really realize it, because I've gone speed dating and got 0. So, I mean, it is interesting, and sometimes you just get the 1 or 2 matches that really mattered. A lot of the time, though, I'll be honest, I don't really like follow up. Like I don't know if this makes sense, but I just had some clarity after. Like I just thought about it, and I was like, I don't know, man. Like I just didn't have a good conversation, or maybe I was just liking them just to like them. I was like, whatever. But the last time I did it, it was on a website, and you could actually see who pre-liked you, and I was just determining if that was actually the case. So 2 of the people I actually liked, I actually didn't have any interest in meeting, but I just wanted to see. Anyway, so yeah, we're gonna look up a couple of these date fails here. We're gonna narrate through them like we usually do, and we'll probably take an intermission on that. And I don't know, we'll talk about some speed dating that's coming up. It's just in a couple weeks, like just over 2 weeks away. So I thought it'd be interesting to talk about. So this first one here, let's get a little closer in. This first one comes from this scientist, TZ, from 11 years ago, and you're going to find a lot of these date fails are going to be like that, which is kind of nice. They're not like anything recent, but yeah, like 12-year-old date fails, man, just if you guys aren't aware, a lot of the sites that you would see nowadays aren't actually used very much. Back then, like, I don't even think Tinder was actually live 10 years ago. It was a while ago. I think when I was like 21, it was, I remember it then, I think. So, like, I'd say, like, 8 years ago is fair, but I just don't know over 10 years ago if Tinder was actually around, or had picked up the name it has. I don't think it was, actually. But, like, sites like Plenty of Fish, Match.com, OkCupid were, like, big sites. They were actually really big, and one thing that OkCupid had that, like, some of the other ones didn't have is it wasn't, like, first name, last name, or whatever they use nowadays. Like first name, and you gotta verify, and you gotta put up all the pictures. Like, a lot of people just didn't have anything. It was kind of like Reddit. Like, you could just be out and nobody knows who you are. Your username could just be like serious hockey player, and nobody knows, right? And you can just go on and message. It's like that website Whisper as well, right? So I actually forgot about that. I should actually write that down and give it a shot. I'm looking for a pen and paper, actually. I've got the paper, but I don't know where the pen is, because that would be a great idea for another, it's not really a dating app, I guess, but it's like I guess like a forum, I don't know, but you can date off it. It'd be interesting. But yeah, so just keep that in mind when I'm reading through these, because you're going to see a lot of them are probably going to be OkCupid or like something like that. So yeah, let's read this first one. Let's see what we got. It looks like a quick one. So I met a girl online on Yahoo. Do you even meet people on Yahoo? That was like isn't that like just a search engine? 10 years ago, we exchanged pics and everything's looking good. I do like the exchange pic thing, but I mean, I definitely think like if you ever do that, I mean, I know this is old school, but like you should actually be like, hey, like put a spoon on your head and take a photo. Like that way you actually know who you're dealing with, or have like a video call, like Bumble offers that now, like in the app. Right? Like you can just go video call and you can dial that person up, right? And it's a really good idea that you just know you're not going to get catfished. Everything's looking good though. So we get to talking about various nonsense online, which is usually how it goes. This is, I assume, a guy now. As he says, she asserts that she can beat anyone at Scrabble. I knew I was being baited for a date, so I challenged her to a game, and she invites me over to her place. Got some comments there. So I mean, nothing wrong with a game of Scrabble, and I like that she kind of like threw it out there, and he took the bait. He was like, "I'm gonna go for it." That's a great idea. I think people should do that. There's a girl I know, can't say who it is, but she'll often do that. She'll be like, "Hey, like I'm." What are you doing? And I'll be like, oh man, wish I just had some plans for Saturday. And then hoping that the guy will then go, oh, hey, and hit them up, with plans. So sometimes that is a way to do it. I don't think it's too bad though. Scrabble's a little funny, but whatever floats your boat. And then inviting over to her place on a first date, I'm going to say this 1,000 times, but I'll say it again. It's never a good idea. Don't ever do that. Like, no matter what you think, don't do it. I don't care if you're the guy going over, or if you're the girl coming over, or whatever, or two guys and a couple girls and whatever. Just don't do it. Don't ever go over to someone's house on a first date that you don't know. It just does not, it's never going to go well. I get there, and she's a good 100 pounds heavier than she was in her picture. Yeah, I don't want to be that guy, but I mean, like, 20 pounds or something is not really that's not the end of the world. Like 100 pounds is you can notice that. Like that, I'm just saying, like that's big. And that's catfishing. Whether you believe it or not, that is catfishing. Also her house, apparently, because that's what she referred to it as, was a trailer in a trailer park. Well, okay, come on. Okay, that's pushing it. That's still a house. I could go buy a trailer. That's my home, dude. And I'd probably call, like, I'd joke. I would say that nonchalantly. I'd be like, hey, come over to my place, or like, come over to my house. But it might be an apartment. Like, I mean, okay. But I'll give him the rest of it. She has no table on which we play Scrabble, sorry. So we play on the floor. She has no drinks to offer me other than a bottle of Sam's Club bottled water. Oh, okay. I'm not even familiar with the brand. I was thinking like Dasani or something. And I obliterated her at Scrabble twice, and she begged me to stay and have sex with her, and I did not. Wow. I think the last line is really all you need to say. I'm surprised that she, like, well, I mean, maybe it's just kind of like, trying to make that more than it is, but just begged to have sex just sounds a little odd at the end of that, but, okay. Yeah, don't do that stuff on a first date. I think I've read that one. Yeah, I've done these a few times, so just give me a second here and we'll, okay, this one says worst date ever. That's clearly got to be it. Okay, from a deleted account. We don't have the account information. Don't worry about it. And hopefully you guys are enjoying the stream, and I appreciate you guys checking it out. I see we got a bunch of people just chilling right now, listening to story time with Nikki D. So my good friend Vicky and her husband Will, a surgeon, are always trying to set me up. That never goes well. Always. I usually turn down their offers, but they talked up this one guy, Ben, and he seemed like a great guy. He's smart, a doctor, and his TMNT collection was bigger than mine. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Okay. I was just making sure I had that acronym down. I was just thinking Star Wars for some reason, but I was like, that's not adding up. He took me to a nice place for dinner, and I was kind of nervous, but nothing like bad, and then he spilled his drink on purpose. Oh, the classic. I had a girl try to do that to me one time. Back when I was just a youngin', just a wee kid, and we were on a mall date kind of thing. And I had met this girl. I knew her from MSN Messenger. Let that just sink in. So anyway, MSN Messenger date. I go to the mall. I'm supposed to meet her at the mall. She's got a group of girls with her. By the way, like her like bestie, I guess you would call her. I was more into her. I was like, wow, this is weird. And I'm not gonna lie to you, she's pretty fat. But I mean, it's just what it is, right? I'm just saying. So anyway, we hadn't actually made contact, but we were in like the area. It was basically like this place with a little pool table and some games, like an arcade. And so she apparently after the fact was going to like purposely spill a drink on me if I hadn't come up and be like, are you so-and-so? But I'm not going to lie, when I saw her at first, I got cold feet. I was like, oh God, I can't do it, man. I don't even know how old I was. I don't want to know. Yeah, like wowee. So anyway, spilled the drink and she was like, well, what the hell happened? So I was like, and when we started talking, and he started talking like a baby, and it was like, oopsie, I spilled my drink, I'm a bad boy. And I was like, Ben, are you okay? And he kept at it, baby talk, looking all coy, and then I'm not making this up, oh my God, asked if mommy wanted to spank her bad boy. Wow, that's clearly where the date ended. So I was out of there. I don't blame her. I just got it from the table and walked out. He ran after, talking normally, apologizing. I had to wait for my coat check. What? That's awkward. I accepted his apology, assured him I wouldn't tell Vicky and Will about his kink. And when he went to hug me, and then he went to hug me, and it lasted a little too long. I pushed him away, and well, there's no way polite of saying it. He jizzed in his pants. I have proof, but yeah, he did against my leg. Wow. That really escalated. I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't actually expect that to really go that far, but yeah, but I had a good friggin' time. That's amazing. Okay, I don't. Yeah, we're gonna. Oh, we got a blind date, bro. All right. Okay, here we go. So this again comes from 11 years ago. Theoretical Hippo comes to us live. So yeah, too long don't read. We're not going to read that part. We're going to go right into it. We're going to get the meat and potatoes of it here. So I'm a 25-year-old male. I let a friend set me up on a blind date, and she told me this girl was a reasonably attractive brunette who was witty and funny and very honest and outgoing. Huh. I like that. All right, no problem so far. I mean, the blind date can be a pro and a con. We'll see how it goes. So that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. I just read something about the too long don't read. About he got a girlfriend out of a waitress. That ruined the story for me, but that's fine. I don't like blind dates, but this friend loves to matchmake, and I was sure we could be. They were sure that we could be the best couple ever. Cool. Excellent. That's just fantastic. I don't write if it's not obvious. I don't like reading love stories. I'd rather just read all the fails. So we'll see. Okay, date day. I am showed a picture of this girl for last reassurances, and she looks all right. I'm pretty optimistic. I phoned her, and we agreed to meet at a Buffalo Wings for a few drinks and then some food on a Thursday night. No problem with that. Wings on a first date would be interesting though. Like that could get really sauced up. If you drop a wing, I mean, I've seen that happen in live time. It's not good. So just because you get like honey garlic all over your hands and stuff, right? It's just a mess. So I don't know. I'm a little itsy on that, but that's fine. So I agreed to meet her at 8 p.m. and I arrive about 7:50 and text her that I have arrived and I grab a table since it's busy. So far, so good. This is actually pretty solid. He's got there 10 minutes early. Let her know where he's at. All good. She responds that she's on the way. 8 p.m. and she's not on time. Okay, like might be 8:05. 8:15, still nothing, and I order a beer. I would have ordered the beer the moment I sat down, to be quite honest with you. I don't wait to order a beer. I would rather just get there and sip it and like not look weird. And just let that simmer for a second, right? Like that'll help calm the nerves. 8:25 and still nothing. That's a little odd too. That's a good chunk of time. If it was like 5 minutes late, I wouldn't have much to say. But I've been on dates where women are late, and I'm telling you, there is a certain amount of time where I'm just gonna get up and leave, or I'm just gonna enjoy my dinner by myself and then get up and leave. The waitress is flirty and fun though. I order an appetizer. 8:35, still nothing, so I start eating the appetizer, and number 2 arrives. 8:45 and she still hasn't shown up. No call, no text from her, and it looks like I'm going to be stood up. I should have left 30 minutes before, but I wanted to not be stuck up. Not to be a stuck-up douche on a good friend. Cool. So I'm just saying, by the way, right now, there's definitely a limit of time that you are willing to wait for somebody. If they're like, hey, I'm on my way, could be a little late or something like that, that's fine. But I mean, 7:50 and she goes, hey, I'm on my way, and it's 8:45 and the girl hasn't shown up, I would have already got the check and bounced. And if she walked in at 8:45, as I was leaving, I would have been like, go enjoy your beer. Because, that's ridiculous. It's 45 minutes late. If you're going to be late, at least tell them, hey, I'm expecting to be half an hour late. I'm so sorry about that. If you want to reschedule, I totally get it. But just to not have any time management ability, to me, just shows either something came up and you're not telling me, and just say something came up. You don't have to explain it. Or that you don't really value this date that much, right? And that's the part that would get me. It's like, I'm valuing it because I'm here at the time I said I'm going to be here. That would piss me off. Yeah. Finally, 8:50 comes and the girl arrives, and holy cow, I was in for a surprise. That's not good. This photo is of an athletically built brunette weighing about 120 pounds and standing about 5'6". Nothing wrong with that. Couldn't be any more radically wrong. I'm guessing the photo I was shown was her like 19 or a senior picture from high school. That's not good. Before me is a mildly ridiculous oaf of a woman. Ouch. Um, Fiery red curly hair, which with obviously brunette roots, and about 100 pounds over her photo, comes to the table, introduces herself, and says she is sorry and she's late and nothing else. Yeah, that's really weird, man. I've had a date, man, where like, and she wasn't even like that moderately that much bigger, but she was bigger. And I think you should have like the most recent picture you can. You can use some old pictures if you like noticeably are like the same, but like I wouldn't be like much bigger or much smaller or like longer hair and post photos. I don't think that's appropriate. You want to give people a good idea of what you look like. So I just like when I had that girl show up, and I know exactly the one I'm thinking of. She showed up fairly wasted too, but I mean that's beyond the point. She was just a lot. She was bigger, and that was the problem. Like she looked nice in her photos, like good size to her, little meat on the bones. Not too skinny, not too big. Perfect. And then like she showed up, and I was like, nah, she's big. Like there's a difference, right? And like when you and it goes either or, right? I've seen the post where the guy comes in and the guy's like 300 pounds and the girl's like, I thought you were like 180. There's a big difference, right? And it really shows. So to do that isn't cool. And I totally get like they might be conscious about their image, but that's not the point. Like you're almost trying to like sell yourself, like the image of yourself to somebody, right? Like with these apps, like the first couple pictures, they're gonna go like yes, no, and just to deceive everybody is not cool, right? Because this probably happens. It's probably more than just this one guy that's gonna walk in and be like, oh, what the hell. But I liked it. I thought it was funny. Called her an oaf, but that's funny. So we proceed to have the most awkward 45-minute BWW experience. What is that? BWW experience. What's that stand for? Oh, well, okay, that makes sense. That was the name of the establishment. I thought that was an acronym for just something silly I don't get, like like a BBW or something. I was like, well, I could get that. Anyway, so wing experience we've ever had. She had terrible body language. I kind of want him to like. I wish that kind of described that slightly more about like what was supposed to be terrible about her body language. But I mean, I've had dates where they're just very closed, like arms crossed up like this, jacket doesn't come off, and the moment someone goes, "Well, maybe she was cold," no, like you're in an establishment that's, trust me, it's warm. You're gonna be okay to take a jacket off. Like it's just ridiculous. Anyway, awful eye contact, and she was witty and funny, all right, in a way that people say, haha, I'm so funny, aren't I quirky and adorable? Yeah, I hate that. Yeah, she was one of those. It was annoying as fudge. Vapid. I mean, is that even a word? And about as deep as a toothpaste cap. Again, yeah, we've all been there. We've had those dates where you just start like asking them questions because it's like they're just not saying anything. And you're just basically doing an interview. You're like, okay, just tell me about your hobbies. They're like, I don't really have any. Okay, right on. Cool, what's your favorite movie? No, I don't think I have one. All right, right on. Like, that's probably what it sounds like it was going on. After about 45 minutes, we finished our dinner and packed up and went our separate ways. But that lovely waitress came back and over and expressed she was happy that I didn't get stood up, and I let her know a good friend had set me up, and I told her I would have left if she hadn't been there to keep me company. Got her digits, and she's still my girlfriend. That's amazing. We don't like talking about positive dates on here, so we're going to move right along. That's... we don't like reading that. What do we got here? Just 1 second here. Yeah, that one had a twist, but we're not really into. That was a cheating one. Okay, hold on 1 second here. Okay. Yeah, we'll do this one here. I just gotta like pre-read them for like 2 seconds. I gotta make sure what's going on. Thanks for coming in, Anna. I appreciate it. It's always good when I see like names I know too. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if Taryn's in here too. I don't know if that was another Taryn, but I think that could be the Taryn. I think is. I don't know though. I remember Layla was in here too. That was funny. I was like, hey Layla. Wesley, he was here. Anyway. Let's read this one. I think this will work. So this comes from a deleted user. Again, we don't have any information on them, so let's just go through it here. So I was at a party once and got approached by a girl. By the way, that never happens. That right there. A girl told me in 2022 that the egg does not swim to the sperm. It doesn't happen. So this just don't believe anything that I'm gonna read here in the next 30 seconds. She wanted to set up a double date with me and my buddy and her friend. My friend and I accepted. His date was kind of ugly, but we agreed to take one for the team. All right, I'm going to explain how that works, okay? I'm going to explain why that happened, okay? So the girl, why they're doing the double date, I'm not 100%, but Buddy's taking one for the team, right? He's going to do the double date, and he's going to willingly go out on this date, knowing that he's probably not so much into the girl he's supposed to be on the date with, because it's all to help the buddy, right? He's wingman and the buddy, to obviously go with this girl, because for whatever, right? So you got to respect the bro code. You got to, and that's good, I mean, we've all been there, we've all done it, I mean, I've done it. So yeah, I mean, that's great. Nothing wrong with this. So the day of the date, the ugly friend, that's not a good way to refer to her as, but, whatever. So the other friend anyway, canceled, which is probably because it was just a setup for me and the girl, in the first place. So it sounds like just the two of them now go rather than like the four or the three of them, which would have been really weird. So we set up a movie and go see it. The classic movie date. And again, you know why you do a movie date? Because if the movie goes really awkward, or sorry, you do like a dinner and then a movie. Because if the dinner goes awkward, you can go to the movie and not speak to her. And you're like, okay, this is cool. And then you just plan your way out of there. Okay, after the movie, and yeah, movies apparently was fine. She wanted to go back to her dorm/apartment complex and hang out with her pals. Dude, he's gonna get raped. The date was going okay, so I agreed. It wasn't odd. College age, about 20 or so. So we hang with our roomies for a while. That's really that's a bold soft launch, just to meet friends that early. So that's interesting. They want to go out, so they leave, and I offer to leave like a normal gentleman, and she indicates I should stay for a while. I agree. We put on another movie, and I make a move to kiss her, and we kiss for a minute or two, and then she pulls away without warning and immediately gets really agitated. She wants to know where things are going, and before I can answer, she begins crying very, very hard. She goes off on a tangent for about half an hour about all these very odd issues she's having, and how nothing is going right, and all men are going to abuse her. Okay. And right. So now within the first minute of the freak out, I'm thinking, okay, this is over. I gotta get out of here. But that was a mistake because he starts asking questions out of just obviously curiosity. And it turns out I'm the second person she's ever kissed, how she's a virgin, and, God, this is going crazy. Anyway, mother never let her date. We're going to sum it up here real quick. She's going to get killed in a dumpster. Something about her grades, or you can just read it. Don't worry about it. Okay. So anyway, I go home, chalk it up to a bad night, and then may I remind you, all this girl had was my name and my phone number. The next morning at 7 a.m. or so, I get a knock on my door. I don't live on campus. I live way off campus with roommates, and it's her. I'm now freaking. No, see, this is what I want to read. I don't want to read, wow, my mother was overbearing, and I've only kissed one guy, and I'm going to start crying because we're going to have sex. No, that's not what was happening. And she really clearly didn't, it's probably just her being, I guess in the sense, it could have been her being, naive, too, because, she doesn't realize what vibe she's giving out, and I make that, I have made, a thing to be, abundantly clear. If I were to invite a lady over, and, we were gonna have, a pot roast or something, and, watch a movie, we're literally gonna have a pot roast and watch a movie. That's the point. I'm not inviting you over for sex. I'm inviting you over to have a pot roast and watch the movie. So I make it very clear, this is what you're coming over for. Maybe some snuggling and a little kissing, that's fine. But I'm not moving it past that. And if they try to, it's not going to happen. So, that's the thing. She was hey, come over to my dorm. My friends are leaving. I want you to stay. Okay, but, you need to make that clear. Clear communication is never a problem. Simply just speaking and saying your intentions are very good. You can't even blame the guy. Because, he's just, going with it. And he's taking it slow. And he's okay. But, yeah. Obviously, there you are. I feel like I might have read this one. But who knows. Anyway, so she's at the house. She's banging on the door. He never gave her the address, only a name and a number. So she found that out somehow. She's got flowers with a card. She's still crying and apologizes for her behavior. I feel like I have read this one. I'm pretty sure I have now. The card says, I really like you. I know I probably scared you away, but if you ever want to give it a shot, give me a call. I think he's thinking about it. And I swear, she's banging on the door again. I answer it, it's her. She's screaming and in tears. And I ask why, and she's livid at me for not reading the note and chasing after her. I can't stand that, man. Like, dude, if I have a girlfriend and she was going to be like, hey, you know, I'd be like, hey, do you want anything? I'm hitting up McDonald's. And she'd be like, no, I'm good. Like, all right. And I don't get her anything, and she gets mad because apparently I was supposed to get her something. You said no. Anyway, but yeah, so she's banging on the door. She cries again. 30 seconds later, she's gone again. He just, like, isn't even answering the door, tells the roommates not to do it. I have read this one now. I'm absolutely certain of it. Yeah, and then, like, apparently she gets a girlfriend, like, 5 years later, basically, and, like, or a boyfriend, sorry, and he just looks like a weirdo. But, yeah, that's one thing, like, that's why, like, I don't want to, like, I don't want anyone knowing my address, you know? I don't want to know anyone else's address on a first date. I just want to, like, have the date and go on our separate ways. Like, you go your way and I go my way. And we both have a good time. We don't have to go farther than that. Because you don't know what you're dealing with. Like, there's a level of crazy out there that just people can't anticipate. And that's part of it right there. Yeah. Okay. Let's read this one. This one, it doesn't look incredibly crazy, but that's fine. That last one, that's jacked. Years ago, I met a guy at a bar who was born on exactly the same day as me. That seemed like reason enough to accept his offer when he asked me out. Perfect. What better reason? He told me to dress up nicely as we would be attending an art gallery opening. I got all dolled up, and when he came to pick me up, he was in a t-shirt and jeans. Okay. Maybe I misunderstood the attire requirement, but when we got there, it was in a warehouse out in the middle of nowhere. It was actually an art gallery, but barely. Some of his friends were there, but he wouldn't introduce me to them, and I proceeded to chat with them and proceeded to chat with them and ignore me the entire evening. Meanwhile, I'm dressed to the nines, and they're also all in jeans. After we left, he asked if he could take me out to dinner, and I figured, whatever, at least I get a free meal out of this awful evening. We hit up a nice pizza joint and ordered a pizza. As I reach for a second slice, he just looks at me and says, wow, a second slice? Really? Geez, you're a house. And I ate the rest of the pizza. I don't even know what to say. There's so many red flags in that entire story. Like, again, like picking up on the first date, you don't even know where you're going. You know, obviously the dress code was just jacked. You didn't have your own way home, which you obviously should have. Thank you. You should have your own way there and your own way home. You should never have it where you're, like, depending on someone else. Like, I can only get to A to B or B to A with that person assisting me. It's not a good idea. I understand, like, you know, again, like, and this is the thing, like, you know, years ago, this was a lot more normal too, right? But it's just like, it's just not something that I would ever strongly recommend, at all. So I'm just looking up a movie real quick here. I think I'm watching Son of Saul tonight, but I don't know if that's the movie for tonight, but I think I'm going to. It's rated really good, man. It's like 96% on Rotten Tomatoes. Basically about, like, a guy gets taken prisoner in war. I don't know what year of war. World War II. There we go. There's my answer. I think he gets into concentration camp. So it's not primarily all, like, just the Jewish ones, but it's gonna be a good movie. Yeah, I don't even know. Like, and then especially to take someone to, like, a pizza joint on a date is hilarious. Like, it's, like, one of the worst spots you could ever take someone. Like, take someone to a nice restaurant or something. Like, actually, like, show a little bit of effort. Hold on. I just noticed something that's, like, driving me up the wall. I don't have my Reddit tab zoomed in enough, so it's actually showing, like, the icons at the top. 1 second here. Oh, yeah, there we go. That's hot. Okay. Here, we'll do like this. Yeah, there we go. There we go. There we go. All right. Perfect. We got it. Okay. Let's read this one from Mylorex. So not as mortifying as some, but this is my first date. So it was a first date with or my worst date, sorry. It was my first date with a guy I met online. With some nice conversations, decided to meet up for one night for sushi. I've never tried a sushi date as a first date. I think that'd be good. Like, you do a buffet. She's getting, like, avocado rolls. I'm getting whatever. Whatever I want to get. The night started off well enough, and I really enjoying myself. About half an hour into the date, he starts getting a crap ton of texts and calls for who he claims is his dad. Being the slightly naive girl I was 4 years ago, I shrugged that off. But the texts kept coming. He never bothered to put his phone on silent and checked every single text. He said his dad wanted to go work out with him. At that point, I had a good handle on what was going on. I said, look, I told him, if you aren't into me, that's fine. But have the guts to tell me instead of just relying on your buddy to bail you out. And he goes, actually, he replied while standing, it's a booty call. Thanks for dinner. And he left. I just sat there for a little bit embarrassed as hell because of all the sympathetic glances from the other patrons. The server brought the check over, but she leaned down to me and whispered, I heard what happened. I took the buddy's order off for you, so you're only paying for what you ate. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty wild. You know, I always try to stress it, like, even if I'm not on a date with somebody, if I'm just hanging out with people, it's really stressful to me when people can't. I don't really, like, demand people's attention, but I think it's just respectful to do the bare minimum, you know, to just give someone your peace of mind when you're hanging out in person, you know, and try not to be on your phone as much as possible, like, as little as possible. But I went on like, I don't even know what you call it, but, like, just me and a guy went out for dinner, like, not a date, but we just went for dinner. And he was on the phone the entire night with his girlfriend. He was calling her, he was texting her, like, you know, and it's like I wasn't there. So, like, I can totally get that's really annoying, but, like, don't just put the phone on silent. I never check my phone on dates unless it's like the end of the date and I'm just double checking the time. That's it. Okay, anyway. Oh, I've read this one. This is a bowling one there. That's pretty funny. Okay, I don't want to see a guy poop up his pants in his car. I don't care for that. Now that one worked out well. We don't read that one. Okay, we got a story here from Dorbin 2010. Internet date horror story. That's always how they go. So I had just gotten out of a long-term relationship and was being encouraged to get back into the game and not sit around sulking, so I decided to join OkCupid. Here we go. I decided to message a few girls my first night, and then I largely ignored it for a few weeks until one night I got a response. I checked the girl's pictures out, and I thought it a little odd she had only pictures of her face from an angle that sort of ignored the rest of her. So I'm going to stop him right there. So what that typically is, and I, you know, sometimes on this channel I say things a little bluntly, and this is going to be no exception. She's fat. There's no other way around it. She's not comfortable with her body, and that's why she's showing pictures that are going to be like the camera's like here, and it's like straight down, like face there. Like, there's another one where you do it like this, like you do like the side, so you have it like to the shoulder. Again, it kind of shows like chest up. And that's another thing, is chest up as well. So things to look for in those photos is the fingers. You can usually tell if they're pretty thick and round. There you go. And it's pretty evident too when they just don't show any photo of their body, like, at all. I like to have a photo of my body, like not like topless or something, but just something where I'm standing. You can see my full frame, my full figure, just to give people an idea. I'm pretty thin. And if someone wants someone like more like bigger than me, you know, they can see that, right? They can tell what I look like. So when someone does that, when they're really obscuring the photos that you can't see the rest of them, and I've made that mistake on a few encounters. One time I just did it on purpose, just to see. But if there's no picture of what they look like except a face, a lot of the time they're big and they just don't want to show it. But yeah, anyway. But we started talking, and before long, I actually did enjoy speaking with her, and that's the one thing that gets you, is you might actually really like talking to her too, or him. and have a good time with that conversation, and then you get kind of roped in. That's why I don't like texting too long. I like to make something a little sooner just to see if we actually do enjoy each other's company in person. So then one night out of the blue, she proclaims, "We must meet right now to figure this out because I think I love you." I probably would have bailed out right there, but I mean, that's a bold statement. So I agreed to meet at a Starbucks. I'm waiting there, and this incredibly large girl shows up and introduces herself, all the while I'm trying to remain calm and collected. We buy a drink and start talking. It's not even like an alcoholic drink because it's a Starbucks. Like, what are you going to get? Like a dragon fruit smoothie? That's not a date. She was actually pretty interesting, except every 2 damn seconds she would ask me, "So do you like the way I look? Can you see this happening?" She clearly was very, I don't know the word, but she clearly knew it was going to be a problem, and she's probably had confidence issues before, and this is probably no exception. If she's like asking you that, like, "Well, what do you think of the outfit? Do you like the way I look? You know, can you see this going any further?" Like in the date, that's a big issue. Just saying. The date continued into dinner. Okay. So I didn't. Maybe they didn't leave Starbucks or something, but I probably wouldn't move past the drink they bought. Just for me, that would be me. But anyway, so she ordered more food than I could ever consume in one sitting, and I'm not a small guy, he says. She proceeded to eat it while talking to me and continually asking me if I liked what I saw. It's like, yeah, how many times do you have to ask that? I paid for dinner and was going to politely tell her it just wasn't going to work when she tried to ambush. Is that a thing? When she tried to ambush make out with me in the parking lot. I don't know how that works. It was only then and there that I gained the speed of Neo from the Matrix and hover hugged her while at the same time avoided the kiss. I'm assuming he like tried to kiss her and then like pulled away with his head so she couldn't go in and kept trying to kiss him. She asked me one final time if I liked what I saw, and my response is, "I wouldn't have minded it so much if you hadn't taken a magnifying glass to your insecurities." Ouch! But he got roasted, or she did. She then, in the act of pure defiance, pulled out some sort of candy bar from her purse and said, "I'm happy with how I look, and you would have gotten lucky tonight." Oh my god. And you know what? All the power to her. Just don't ask me if I like you every 2 seconds. That's a pretty weird date, man. Like definitely the insecurities were pouring through, and it was very evident, you know, especially if you have to constantly try to get your date to like, again, I'm losing the word, but if you constantly have to get your date to do that for you, then that's like just to reassure you that like, hey, it's good. It's just not good. Thank you. Okay. Oh, the classic hook me up with a friend story. Let's read this. So this comes from Ice Pigs 11 years ago. So this happened to me a long time ago. My best friend was dating the fairly wealthy girl. I asked her to hook me up with a friend. I was hoping to get a rich girlfriend too. Nothing wrong with that. Why not? I was in the Marine Corps at the time. I made about $800 a month before taxes. So I was set up on this blind date, and I picked her up at her condo on Newport Beach. Holy crap! Okay, I gotta say this. So I went to LA with a lovely lady many months ago, and we went to Newport Beach. I am telling you, that is a nice beach, and it's in a very expensive area. So 100%, if this girl owned the condo, or like her parents did, or whatever, but someone owned the condo that this girl was staying in, it was not a cheap condo. Like, houses there are like millions, depending on like where and obviously. So it's crazy. So that right there tells you the wealth that someone has in this scenario. That's insane. Oh, here we go. The next line answered that. So the entire condo was owned by her dad. He also owned some exotic auto dealership on PCH. I don't think it's there anymore. She was quite attractive, and I thought I hit a home run. I mean, why not? There you go. She got my car, and we headed out towards dinner. Then she spoke. She said the only thing men were good for was to be a sperm donor. Men were all idiots and wouldn't get anywhere without a woman to tell them what to do. Doesn't she live in her dad's condo? Like, I don't understand how any of that would have made sense to her. She said her future husband will need to worship the ground she walked on and do everything she said without question. I would have drawn. Seriously, if I picked up a date in the car and she immediately just starts saying something like that, I probably would have pulled over to the first gas station and been like, see ya. Like, that's ridiculous. I would have dealt with that. This prattled on for about 15 minutes, and about halfway between her place and the restaurant, I knew I didn't want to spend $80 on dinner and drinks with this psycho. So I pulled over in a parking lot. Good man. I pulled over in a parking lot, reached across her lap, and opened her car door. I looked at her and told her to get the hell out. This was in the late 80s, long before cell phones. I drove off and never heard from her again. My friend's girlfriend had a few words to say to me, though. After I told her what Psycho had said, she understood. Yeah, she clearly got it after that. That's insane. I found my girlfriend at McDonald's. I did the first move and said hello. Went from there. Online dating was one of my worst mistakes. Yeah, well, online dating, man, it's like, I always tell people, man, like, I get down in the dumps with it too. But I think you just kind of play it in the background. Like, it's just a game you don't really pay attention to. And you know what? A lot of us are just going to lose at it all the time. But you know what? Maybe after 10 years, I'll finally get something that'll go anywhere past a first date. Oh, I got no data on my stream. 1 second here. There we go. We're good. I think we're good. Excellent connection. Excellent. Yeah, so I think that's it. Like, you kind of play it like a game. You don't take it too seriously, and I think you should be okay, but it's hard to say. Okay. We'll look this up. Why not? This one, apparently they had sex, but we'll read this one. We'll see what's going on. So I don't know if I'd call that a fail per se, because, I mean, technically you're making it farther than I've made it here. But we'll see what's going on. So, once I met a girl online, she mentioned via texting that she wanted to pursue a master's degree in biomedical anthropology. I thought, sweet, a girl with a brain, and I like talking about that kind of stuff. Nothing wrong with that. Naturally, time came for us to talk on the phone. She insisted. However, she didn't talk. I asked her about her degree, and I asked about her degree. Shouldn't talk about it even remotely coherently. I couldn't tell if she was lying about her academic pursuits or just generally boring. I told her that I didn't think our conversation was going on anywhere. She defensively insisted that she was a fascinating and interesting person, and who was to say anyways? Like, who could say otherwise? I decided to give her the benefit of the doubt. If I had a phone call with somebody, and I've done the phone call before the date, I have done that before, and especially during COVID, that's the thing. If it doesn't really go anywhere in the phone call, I'm probably not going to meet you either. Like, you need to have a conversation. You need to have a good conversation. And if you can't start with that, then there's no point in meeting in person because you're just going to waste time. But, obviously, these guys decide to meet. So we decided to meet. Over dinner, she barely talked. She barely looked at me. Conversation was like pulling teeth from a rabid honey badger. After dinner, we get back to my place, and I'm ready to call it a night. So I'm kind of surprised they even did the dinner, that they even continued back to his place. Like, maybe at this point he was thinking he could probably just razz. I guess that makes sense. Sure, she's kind of cute, but at this point, I'd rather go read about something else, rather than try to talk to this girl anymore. Opting for honesty, I flatly told her that I didn't think it was going to work out, and thanks for letting me take you to dinner, blah, 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 blah. She raged her voice at me and exclaimed, how could you think that I'm not interesting? I'm the most interesting person I know, look at me. I just stood there and blinked. That might have been the longest sequence of sentences that she ever run together. I replied, I'm sorry, I'm just not seeing it. Want to watch Total Recall. Good movie, by the way. Good movie. Total Recall. And she replied, sure. So we watched the movie, and then we screwed. At least she made sounds then. I never called her again. Wow. Yeah, I don't really know what to say to that one, man. That one's pretty wild. That's pretty wild. Like, if I had a date that just wasn't talking, which has happened many times, or they're very, very quiet, and like I have to constantly keep trying to ask them things. People like who aren't on the dates will laugh. Like, they'll always make a comment. They'll be like, well, you talk a lot, so she probably couldn't get a word in. No, trust me. It'd be like 2 minutes of us just staring at the wall before I'd ask her another question. It's just weird. And like, they're sitting there like playing with their hands. Like, they don't know what to do. And it's like, speak. Rough. Okay, another 11-year-old one. All 11-year-olds. or 11-year-old stories. So I moved back from another state to finish college when I was 25. The first night back in my college town, I met a girl at a friend's house and we hit it off. In fact, that night we shared a sleeping bag. I don't think I've read any dates that they shared sleeping bags. That's pretty funny. We didn't have sex. We just shared the bag. So I asked her if she wanted to go on a date before we passed out, and she said sure. So a few days later, I called her and asked her if she would like to go bowling and get a few drinks, and she said that sounded like a great time. Bowling, something like an activity. Bowling, not necessarily, but this, as an example here, is good. Like, you want to do something fun, and it depends on the person. Some people want to go out and do the drink. Some people might want to go do the dinner. Some people want to have a coffee and get to know you. And some people like the fun dates that you don't have to necessarily be like, so what do you do for a living? You can just do something fun, right? You can bowl. Like, it's a good time. So it's good. I have no complaints so far with this at all. So, whatever. She's good with it. So, she said it sounded like fun. Perfect. I show up to the bowling alley the next day, and I see her there, along with about 10 mutual friends, and I thought, hey, whatever, if she feels more comfortable with some friend around, no big deal. That is weird, because it sounds like she probably went and told everybody to show up without telling him. In fact, a few of the friends made fun of what I planned on being a date. So that's weird, too. We all bowled and then went to the same house that we met a week prior. While sitting around outside after a few beers, I thought, I wonder where she is. Upon walking through the house and looking at the front door, I see she's riding on my good friend's back as they walk to his house. And I'm just like, well, what the hell? She jumped off his back, ran up to me drunkenly and said, sorry, I'm leaving, and then proceeded to run back up to my good friend and ride on his back to his house, where they hooked up and proceeded to date for over 2 years. The worst part, was that I hated her for that crap, and I still had to put up with her. And apparently she told everybody he was in love with her, and yeah, that's terrible. But yeah, that's kind of weird. Like, if as soon as people would have showed up, I would have probably like took her aside and been like, and actually made a comment to be like, okay, like, why are there people here? Right? Like, why are all these people here? Like, I don't, you don't necessarily have to have a problem with all the people, but why are they here? Like, that's supposed to be a date, which is usually like 2 people and not like 12. So that's interesting. I met a girl online. She seemed reasonably attractive and fairly easygoing, so I figured, hey, why the heck not? We met at a local coffee shop and chatted for a few minutes before a mutual acquaintance of ours happened to show up and out of nowhere and began talking to the two of us. It turns out they were both in AA together, and then I proceeded to learn her long and sordid history of alcohol abuse and the real reason for her wanting to date. Her exact words were, I'm trying to replace my boyfriend who died this summer. Ouch. Let's take a turn. So the guy decides to invite himself along on our date, neither of them asking me if it was cool for him to do so. We end up driving to a bar, a fine thing for a couple of recovering alcoholics to do. I feel like I've read this one too. And the entire time they're playing the absolute most god-awful music on the radio. And like, he's obviously trying to get a way out. So we get to the bar and then proceeded to drink coffee and play air hockey while I tried to think of a way to leave. I ended up faking a cell phone call from my friend saying I needed to go because she was in the hospital. The girl that pretends to freak out at me for bailing on her during our date, at which point I just stared blankly for a second, blinked and walked away. Yeah, you don't, like, that's just so weird. Like, if you see a friend come along, it's fine to talk to them and then be like, okay, have a good one, and move along with that person, right? And just leave it. But yeah, obviously, again, that just didn't happen. And it's kind of a shame that stuff happens because it's like, clearly it could have been a fine date, but when you just like have someone come along like that and you don't even speak up, it's just like, it's kind of crazy. Okay, that one I've read. So just one second here. Okay, I think I've read that one too. I'm starting to get into the ones where I've read. One second here. Okay, I know we're running dry here, boys. Well, I'm gonna have to. I used to do it where I would just pre-find the stories and then like I would read through them real fast just to make sure they were mint. Um, yeah, but anyway, you guys get the idea. I was looking up speed dating here. Look at this. Look at this. Nick Daniels. Anyway, we'll just we'll just talk for a few minutes. I was only going to do an hour, and then we'll move along here. So, yeah, I think that's enough of the Reddit day fails, though. But you guys get the idea. we'll do another one here. I might do one like Tuesday or something because I got like F all going on. Was that not loading the thumbnails? What's up with that? Anyway, so yeah, man. Like I said, we got speed dating coming up in about I don't know, 3 weeks. A little less, a little more. So I think it's like January 17th or something like that. And I did sign up. So it'll be another 13 women to talk to, and we'll see how that goes. You never know. And I've got the odd bite going on Hinge right now. Like not a lot of action, but we do have a little bit. In my community tab here, I did put a post out 2 weeks ago on dating app reviews. Because I like interacting with you guys as much as possible, and I like to see what's going on. So 25% of you voted for the Bumble, which was friends matching, so matching with men. Feeld, Feeld, was just 4%, and the Cougar dating app got 63%. So the review on that is probably going to come out in a few days. Give me a few days to edit the video, and I should have that out. And then we are going to make one on the Bumble one. But I'd actually like to maybe meet some of these guys first. I will admit the conversations are incredibly awkward, with ththese guys. I have nothing wrong with talking to guys on, like, Bumble or whatever. But the conversations are just really dry. Like, literally the first thing buddy, like, he'd be like, hey, man. And I'll be like, howdy. And he just goes, sup. And I just hate that. I hate that intro. Like, it's just not a conversation to me. It's terrible. So we're going to go from there. But, yeah, so speed dating coming, and I'll obviously do a video on it because, I have to at this point. I know people are expecting this of me. I think they just want me to keep paying $46 and just hoping I'm not going to succeed, which is like, I get it. I completely understand. Bumble Friends coming out, and if you guys have a dating app you want me to talk about, you want me to review a dating app, let me know. Like throw it out there. You can email me at gordonnickdaniels@gmail.com. I've got it in my about section on YouTube. You can check that email address out if you want to flip me an email. I do read those, and I do appreciate them. So that's mint. You guys can do that. I'm down with that. Let's look at my popular here. You got the VR pornography. I've definitely noticed that my online dating videos are actually the most popular on the channel. So it's definitely, they're going to keep coming. If you look even right here, it's like Plenty of Fish, 70K, like Match.com, Plenty of Fish, Facebook Dating, eHarmony, OkCupid, like then it goes all the way down to my craft dinner video. So like you can just see that many videos in a row that I've done that have all been very popular. Yeah, that are all online dating, that are getting a few thousand. So that's pretty cool. I actually should have put this in my Discord as well, but I have a little Discord group where I've we started up a new YouTuber thing. And in that, I could have probably got a few of them to come over. I'll probably, actually, now I think about it, I'll probably post that link for them later. And we'll kind of go from there. But yeah, so I think like next stream will be like early next week. I'm kind of thinking like Tuesday, Monday, I forget what Boxing Day. Monday's Boxing Day. I can do Christmas as well, but I just figured no one would watch. So anyway, we'll see what we're going to do, but I'm thinking like Monday or Tuesday, we'll do another stream. And I think I might try to switch it up a little bit, and I might do that one I talked about, the speed dating video, and I might review that, in a live stream and just do a review, and, break it down and talk about it because, I'm sure there's things going on. And the other one is an old thing that I got recommended by a matchmaker, but it's called the rules of texting. So when you're like, say, texting a woman, it's supposed to be mainly from a guy's perspective, but it's obviously from either or. And it's very interesting to read through and get an idea of like, am I doing this right? Like there was something in there called like value texting, where you want to add like value to a conversation rather than just like texting mindlessly, right? And not making like progress, as you would call it, to forward the conversation to a date or to whatever. So that completely makes sense to me. Anyway, as I normally say, we got probably about another minute here, and we're gonna end the stream. I said I'd do about an hour. I do want to thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate that. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers, and I'm hoping we get there in January. It's 959, man. That's sick. So I'm really hoping to get to 1,000 because I can monetize, and I'd like to start making a few bucks, even if that's all it is. It's just a few dollars. But I think I get enough videos that I can make something. Like, I'm getting some of these videos get a couple thousand, so not like I'm like some big YouTuber or something, but you never know, right? So if you want to subscribe, knock yourself out, that'd be cool. If you want to share it somewhere, I mean, I don't care. I normally don't ask to do any of that stuff, but if you want to do it, that's cool. Like I said, stream's going to be next week. Dating app reviews are coming. It's called Cougarly. Is the one I'm currently having the work. I'm not really in the mood to edit it. I'm not going to lie to you right now. So I'm probably I might do it tomorrow. Or like Christmas Eve or Christmas. I might bother with it then. So, anyway, that's all we got. So thank you so much for watching, everybody. We're going to see you in the next video or live stream. The next video is going to be about Kudo and how I currently hate Kudo. And the drama that's been going on with that. So it's a rant. So thank you so much for watching, everybody.